All right, we're still looking at the Nigerian economy this morning. Now, the Central Bank of Nigeria says its import prohibition policy has attracted investments valued at $10 billion into the country.
Yeah, the CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele said some companies have started local manufacturing of some of the prohibited items, such as granite, marble, across the country. And
Yes.
the CBN scribe says the policy has helped in stabilizing the economy as inflation rate has continued to drop and the gap between the official and parallel naira to dollar exchange rate has been bridged.
Okay, very
Well,
interesting outlook.
Is interesting on the paper.
Okay.
Go to the markets and ask the people, how interesting is that? That's the big question we're going to ask.
Well, we have a financial expert, Mukhtar Mohammed, in the studio. Mukhtar, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Nice to see you.
Okay, give us the true picture. Is this really something to be
You are on the field.
excited about?
You work with these people, so let's go.
We don't have to go too far. We just need to look at the statistic that was brought out. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? And that said that Nigeria have attracted a lot of foreign investment. Again, foreign portfolio investment, we need to specify that. Right. If you looked at it, it said the rate of foreign portfolio investment in Nigeria has increased. It had the increase about 67 point something. 67%.
Make the ordinary man on the street understand this portfolio investment.
Okay, now that has to do with people that buy bonds, shares, treasury bills. That's what we are attracted to. That's what foreign investors are coming for, because we call it the hot money, easy coming, easy going out. Then when you look at as against the foreign direct investment, which has really gone down, which has gone down almost by 60-something%. So we are only attracting the hot money. They come here, make the money through the equity market, and go. Even if you look at the statistics, even Tanzania and Mauritius are even investing in Nigerian capital market, coming in to buy bonds and treasury bills. So when you look at the foreign direct investment, you realize that it's only some states that are really enjoying it. When everybody said Abuja, and that has to do with the federal government. It's come to Lagos State, Ogun State, Edo State, and Akwa Ibom State. All other states are not doing any foreign direct investment. And so now, to galvanize this economy, you and I know that we don't have the resources. We need investors to come in to change the economic landscape, and we are not having that. So for me, yes, the import-export platform created by the CBN have succeeded in attracting portfolio investors, because the exchange rate has been stable, and it's to their advantage, because they are coming in at 360. Remember, that's the parallel market. Remember, the interbank market still remains at 305, 308. So it has been steady there. Sometimes it goes as high as 368, 367. So it's steady for them, it's easy for them, and they can easily access their fund when they want to leave. But when we really need to grow our economy is the foreign direct investors who are going to sit here, who are going to develop our economy, who are going to give us employment to our youth, who are going to begin to create and build infrastructure for us. I don't think we are tracking that now.
All right. Now, when the CBN governor said, well, companies have started setting up, companies have started setting up, manufacturing industries to make marble and to make some of these, the granite and some of these things that were originally banned earlier. I wonder if Nigerians know where the location of all of these companies are, to really know how that has really translated into the benefit of the entire economy yet.
When you talk about those things that are saying granite, we are going into the solid mineral sector. And we want to ask ourselves, what is the biggest solid mineral resources that we have? And one of the biggest solid mineral industry that we have is the Ajakuta State Complex. Are we doing anything about it? Is there any investment going out there? Now, what the CBN are just talking about, you just need to go to the northeast or towards the north central. You see a lot of illegal activities in terms of this
solid mineral
construction.
In Nasarawa State, in Niger State.
Thank you. Now, CBN is telling us that we have the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Solid Mineral. Can they give us a breakdown of who and all who have gotten these licenses, and how much did they pay for it, and how much is it contributing to the Federation an account. That's when we begin to say, okay, people are having this license. What we are saying is that there's still illegal activities on this thing, and now we are now using it to count as an investment platform. No, we need to see the real solid mineral sector. We need to see bitumen in Ogun State being developed. We need to see who are those people that are developing this bitumen in Ogun State. We need to see other sectors coming. We need to see solid mineral in Zamfara State, in Sokoto State, in Ondo State being developed. But we are not seeing any of this. And here we are. You see, the challenge we have is that we always have good
plans,
good layout plan, and we always say it in papers. Like you rightly pointed out, the reality have not even hit us right. I was listening to the Minister for Agriculture. I was still saying that we import less of rice these days, and I still see the bag of rice still between 17 to 16,000. It's not where it's better than last year when we were having it at 20,000.
20 something, 23,000.
So maybe we are making headway in the agricultural sector. Even in that report, they pointed out that the agricultural sector and the service sectors are doing well. Nobody said anything about the mineral sector that the CBN governor is trying to talk about.
In spite of the fact that some 33 billion naira has been injected into the solid minerals sector, which is, part of the successes that President Buhari actually pointed at when he was laying out the budget only not too long ago.
Well, I think the solid mineral sector is not a sector that you just grow up overnight and you begin to see results. It's going to take some time. So we need to see this 33 billion be manifest very soon in the future. I hope so. Because when it comes to solid minerals, there are a lot of processes involved in it.
In that case, you pick holes with what the CBN governor is saying about marble, about granite.
It doesn't just happen overnight. You just need to ask the mining engineer. It doesn't just happen overnight. We don't see granite, we don't see this growing within 1 year that the CBN stopped the importation of this product. Let's be sincere, it doesn't work like that. You need to meet a geologist and he tells you it doesn't work like that.
But there are indications, that the CBN might even tighten or loosen this, hold on the 41 items delisted from Forex access. That's what it is. It's not like this 41 items have been outrightly banned.
Look, I keep saying that over and over again. The 41 items were banned from accessing Forex, the official Forex market. Okay. They were not banned from sourcing for their own Forex. Okay. And
they were not banned from being imported.
Yeah. And remember, everything is being done by demand and supplies. These items that are banned are still highly demanded by Nigerians. So that's why you see the inflation rate cannot go down drastically like we expect it to be, because Nigerians are still patronizing these goods, are still waiting for these goods, and these goods are still making their headway into this country, even selling at Azerbaijani price. So most Nigerians still believe that it's better than what we have.
Well,
so
speaking of the inflation rate, it's a little over 15% now. And of course, the CBN is saying by the middle of 2018, we might be looking at the high single digit, maybe about 9%. How realistic is that? Are there any indicators right now pointing to that?
The only indicator is that the oil price is going up. So, and that's a fragile indicator.
Okay.
So we can't say, we need to pray that there's stability in the oil price. And not only that, we need to pray that there's relatively peace in the Niger Delta. Just this morning, OPEC is beginning to say that we are going to reduce your importation level from 2 billion to 1.8. So it's already going to, we'll begin to see that we need to look for other ways to cover that over 2 billion that we normally enjoy. So, I mean, we are not yet there. When you look at where we are coming from, our inflation rate of 18% within 3 quarters, and we've done 15%, we could say fine. But we need to look at the indices that are really making us do these things. It's not because we are doing things differently from how we used to do it before.
Especially in a sustainable manner.
It's just because oil price is getting up like we all expected it to be. Or no, we didn't expect it to be to go this far. And so we are beginning to see a miracle, and everybody is taking glory for it. Nobody is talking about diversification of the economy any longer. Everybody is now happy that crude price is getting up and Nigeria is beginning to say hooray.
Because we're looking at countries, so many countries are projecting in the next 10, 15, 20 years, to stop using all this fossil fuel. So we should look at more tangible and more sustainable ways.
But when you look at the economic growth plan of the government, it's really putting that into prospect. It's trying to diversify into other areas. We just want to see if this document is going to work. Then we'll say that we will not have so much dependent on oil. But the truth of the matter is going to take a long time before you stop depending on oil. That's the truth of the matter.
Okay.
Oil still remains a source, it still remains a power source of mainstream of any economy in the world at its stand now. And if you want to think about that, remember when the shale oil came into play, they said oil will never will oil price get to as high as $50 again. But today we are doing 63, and it's still getting better by the day.
So the demand is
the
usually
demand will always still be
stronger
there.
factor.
Remember, just this morning I learned that other countries, a country now is trying to demand that they want to begin to buy Nigerian liquefied natural gas also. So we are having oil is still the main driver of any stream or any economy as it stands. So
speaking of LNG, are we really taking advantage of the huge potential in that sector?
I don't think we are yet, but I think the LNG, for now, I think LNG themselves concentrate more on trying to export this thing out of the country. The indigenous part that we are not really utilizing it. You need to look at the power plants that we have, that shortage of gas plants, gas all over. So we need to begin to think about how we can indigenize this thing so that even the man on the street can be able to get gas, and it's getting higher, but it's better now compared to where it was like last year. But I still think that we are not making good use of that yet. And I think the government should begin to look at that. We always talk of oil. We are not looking at the derivative from oil, which have a bandwagon in front to grow an economy. Oil is just a single, it's just the crude. And the derivative from this crude, we have the liquefied natural gas, we have other things that can come up from there that can help build an industry, just like the solid mineral industry, like other industries that can as well create good employment for our youth.
All right, you talked about portfolio investment earlier on, benefiting the companies that are coming in from, but for Nigeria, for instance, what do they stand to benefit more? How beneficial
benefits at all?
Is the portfolio investment?
Unfortunately, we are not taking advantage of it, Nigerians.
Okay.
Since the 2008 market crash, Nigerians have not been coming to the capital market for fear of they're losing their fund, and now it has been a free flow of investors coming in, and investors have been making so much in the market. Because if you look at the stock market as today, it's doing about 39.2% year in, year out. And remember that we're coming from a negative of almost -18, so that is huge. And then you look at those that are playing the market. When you look at it, the rate of foreign investors to Nigeria has gone as high as 80 to 20. So Nigerians are not really benefiting from it, maybe because of fear, maybe they are not educated enough to do it. And remember that these foreign portfolio investors get their equity, they get funding very cheap. They get it at 2% and 3%, and they are coming here, even just putting it in the treasury bill alone, they're having about 16 to 18%. That is huge to them. But for Nigeria, even when you want to borrow, you are borrowing as high as 20-something%. So it doesn't make any sense for Nigeria. I think that is why, for the longer term, I think Nigeria should begin to think of how they can invest in the capital market for a long-term growth. And you remember, from that same report, we see banks like Standard Chartered Bank, Zenith Bank, Access Bank, and Eco Bank Nigeria attracting a lot of foreign investors in terms of trying to buy into this company, or in terms of learning this company, especially from the Eurobond that this company does. So going forward, we are not really enjoying it, Nigerians, as we are, because of maybe the fear of 2008.
Exactly.
But the foreigners are really the one that may. I think we need to be enlightened about it. This hot money comes into our country and flow, and no country economy will develop. And
speaking of diversifying the economy, Nigeria's tax regime is still less than 1/3, of Africa's ration, and one of the lowest in the world. How can we begin to change the narrative when it comes to the issue of tax,
See, I've said it
get
before.
more people into the tax net?
No, I've said it before. Nigerians are not difficult people. In all this economy that you see, that they really get most of their earning by tax. The government gives something, and the people in turn returns. But when you meet an average Nigeria, it tells you how much is the government giving to me. And when you see politicians how they throw around wealth, and even how they harass people on the way with 3 to 4 cars, and you say that's taxpayers' money. And the guy is flying the roads are still bad, there are potholes everywhere, he still goes and repairs his car. It's not encouraging. But you see, it's easier when I see the road being constructed, and I see that there is power. I'm not buying generator. I'm not buying generator. I'm not buying diesel. I'm not buying fuel. And it's easy for me. Look, let me give an instance. When you go as Ikeja, go to Anthony, it's the resident that comes together to construct roads, to do roads to their street. So, and that same resident are now forced to pay tax. So you are not encouraged.
Imagine the frustration in the minds of some of these people.
So 90% of Nigerians that pay tax are those that are deducted directly from source. And the real tax benefit that the Nigerian government is going to enjoy is going to be those that can go in, that will do self-appraisal to pay it, but based on what they are earning from the economy. And those people are not benefiting so much from the economy. So they are not excited to do that. But by and large, it's still our civic responsibility to pay our tax and also ask the government what they are doing with our tax return. So I still believe the government have a lot of work to do in that area. When we begin to see infrastructure grow, it will be easier for me to just go in and pay the tax. And that is why the government has to cooperate with the capital market operators especially to see how they can begin to... You see, when I hear government saying that they are going abroad, they are trying to say Nigerians are buying houses abroad, and that, I said, look, yeah, it's easy, but look at it. The government was saying they want to get about $1 billion tax, $1 billion tax, and they are going to spend about 1.5 billion naira in advertisement. Look.
Well, one will look at
that just says it all.
Exactly, that says it all. I'm telling you. But what should be if we have to be very tactical here as to or being strategic? How should government really go about this thing? Because when you're talking about, okay, our prohibition, import prohibition policy has attracted this and all of that, what should be the government's strategy so that they sustain, it is sustained, Nigerians understand, and Nigerians benefit? Because this is just about benefiting the big companies that are coming in. But there are so many SMEs. In fact, the entire economy is made up of SMEs.
Exactly what he was talking about.
Look, we have the economic recovery growth plan. We have not even started working on it. But we are shouting that we are achieving results. We need to go back to the grassroots. Remember, we have had so many grassroots programs. Growing up, you had the director for rural environment.
Directorate of
we have Mansa, we have People's Bank, we came up with
NAPEP,
and also we had this microfinance bank.
Exactly.
Especially if you look at companies that have grown their economy, mostly the so-called emerging tigers of the Asia economy. You remember they used the micro banks to begin to grow their SMEs. And they have access to cheap funds that were able to use to develop the economy. But we don't have that presently now. The main challenge for every Nigerian small and medium scale enterprise, as long as we say some of them are not really well, their main challenge is funding. And the rate of getting this funding is so high. Nobody can make money in this economy, even in the best of economy, when you are borrowing as high as 27 to 30%.
So how far do you think the social intervention funds would go? Is it something that should
I believe
help in that area?
I don't believe in throwing money to solve it. I believe that we have to throw money, but I don't believe that throwing money to solve a problem is all about that solve the problem. What I see every successive government in this nation do is that they throw money at every problem.
And it doesn't
solve it. You need to begin to think how you can empower the people with relevant skills to be able to manage this funding that is coming to them. You see, the military does that very well. They prepare themselves for retirement. That's why they have the military resettlement center in Oshodi, whereby they send the military people there to do about 6 or 1 year, preparing themselves for life after the military. So they begin to see what they can do with their money. They bring entrepreneurs. So what Nigerians, the government should always do, in as much as you want to throw money to the problem, you must prepare the people on how to handle these resources that are coming. Look, I jokingly said, and the government commemorated that recently when they talk about the whistleblower. The minister said, look, we don't want to give him so much, is it the chairman of the anti-corruption said, we don't want to give him so much money that it will make him run mad. So, sometimes...
there are issues with that now going on.
I'm just saying, I'm just trying to bring in a principle here. Sometimes giving a man 5,000 naira every month is going to make him run mad because he has not even seen 100 naira before. You must prepare him on how he can handle 5,000 naira. If he cannot handle 5,000 naira, you don't throw 10 million to him. That is why we have people go to public office and they see 10 million and they go haywire.
We have often heard of people who win lottery and sometimes
go
with
totally
heavy
bonkers
amount of money and then after 2-3 years
they still lose it. They still lose
everything.
The greatest challenge we have in Nigeria, 3 major challenges are killing us in Nigeria: ignorance, illiteracy, and poverty.
Very bad combination.
Those 3 things also can only be solved by education. And unfortunately, Those educations are not to be solved formal education by going to school. It's informal education. And informal education has to do with a lot of training. We don't have that. Every Nigerian is thinking of how to make it, but no Nigerian is thinking of how to sustain what he has made through careful planning. Same with the government. We come out with policies that are very good. They work after 6, 7, 1 year, and they are dead. Nobody is thinking how to sustain it.
Speaking of that, the forex transactions, at least the proceeds coming from that, we hear will go into the Federation account to be shared among the 3 tiers of government, and then on and on and on and on.
Like,
according to FAC, it will reduce the budget deficit.
It's good, it's coming. But what if that money is going into savings to this sovereign wealth fund for the future of other Nigerians? For us to begin to use it to develop our infrastructures.
Not just share among
the money.
States.
And even sometimes use as a cushioning effect, because sometimes, just like the recession we had and everything, where if we had a lot of robust money in savings in our foreign...
That's why I say Nigerians, government just think the best way to solve a problem is to throw money at the problem. And you can see it with the filibuster federalism we operate. Thank God for a state like Lagos State. Thank God for a state like Edo State that is doing that now. Thank God for a state like Akwa Ibom State. All other states just run to the federation. They want on the 30th. If you call the Commissioner of Finance of some states now, they're already in Abuja waiting. They want to share the money. So we always want to share the money, and unfortunately, these monies are being shared only to pay salaries. And you see the government come that way. Even all what government, even now the president said that salary should be paid through the Paris Club reform. And the government, all the governors are saying, listen to all of them. None of those governments are saying any of those money is going to go into any developmental project. Even including the president is telling them, use it to pay salaries.
And then after salaries are paid, what next?
What next? All right. Although we heard Governor Nasir El-Rufai earlier say, well, for those of us who are not owing salaries, the states like Lagos, Kaduna, Kano, and a few
Anambra.
others. Exactly, Anambra State. When the money comes, we'll use it for development.
You see, the challenge is that you don't wait for the money to come.
Just do it.
You need to have a plan. So when the money comes, it goes into those plans. Just like an individual. Any individual that is waiting that when I have 1 million, I will do this, will never do it. But when you have a plan on ground, when the 1 million comes, it fits into your plan and you move. So what plan did this government have? Look, I keep saying Lagos State is what they should come and study. Not because Lagos State government is doing so much with what they are. We still believe they can do much with what they are earning. But you could see that for every resources that is coming to Lagos State, there's already a plan on ground on how this resources thinking of how to maximize this. But what we have is now, when the money comes, is El-Rufai going to use that money to retrain the teachers that he has sacked or re-employ most teachers? Then you come and say, look, when there was so much noise about me sacking teachers, so I have to retrain them. I'm sacking local government staff. I mean, we are just running a government. Most are politicians. But the challenge we have as a Nigerian is that most of the people that hold public office have never run a business. So it's always very difficult to manage resources. These are civil servants that have learned to live on free money that comes from them from this.
Whether you work or not,
yes,
the money comes. And you cannot be sacked.
You cannot be sacked.
You just hit at the heart of the issue.
That's the main challenge we have. We don't have challenge with you. There was a point that the president of the country said, we don't have problem with how much, we don't have problem how we can spend this money. That shows a country that has never had a vision of developing beyond the now.
All right, we have to leave you here now. Mukhtar Mohammed, a financial expert, thank you so much for coming on the program.
It's always a pleasure.
Thank you so much.